In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply and get approved for the American Express Business Blue Cash credit card, especially for my business owners out there. And in today's video, we're going to cover three things. The first thing we're going to cover is, who is this credit card for? The second thing is we're going to talk about what are the expected credit limits, if it's worth even applying for. And then number three, we're going to show you exactly how to apply and get approved for this business credit card today, if you meet the requirements. So first things first, let's talk about who this credit card is for. I think that the American Express Business Blue Cash credit card is for brand new entrepreneurs, right? So if you just established your LLC and you meet the requirements of having a 700 plus credit score and above, or if you're already in the American Express ecosystem. So if you have a American Express Blue card, one of their on the personal side, if you have a personal platinum, a personal gold, a green card, like any of the items that you will have on the personal side, then you're already in American Express's ecosystem, right? Or in their relationship, in their footprint. So that does help out. Obviously, I always tell my clients to make sure that you do have over a 700 personal FICO score. So if you haven't looked at your personal credit score lately, or if you know you have high utilization, this wouldn't be one of the cards that I would apply for, especially as a brand new business owner or even a seasoned business owner. Make sure your personal FICO score is over 700 by using Experian.com, or you can use myfico.com, or we use a company called MyScoreIQ to look at our clients' credit report. So this is going to be for your brand new business owner. So no matter what industry you're in, I don't think that American Express is kind of industry specific, where they stay away from certain industries depending on how you fill out your application. So if you are a real estate fix and flipper, if you're a buy and hold real estate investor, if you are in waste management, junk removal, if you're in e-com, if you're in med spa, if you are in landscaping, if you are in construction, if you're a truck driver, American Express is not shy away from certain industries. And at least in my experience here since 2019, I haven't seen them shy away from a certain industry. I've seen them, decline business owners that maybe their business isn't active, or maybe they could improve the income by connecting their bank account, which they do use a company called, I think it's Yodlee, where they want you to connect your bank account just to make sure that you are providing income into the business. And we'll get to that here on step number 3. But this is going to be for your brand new business owner or somebody who is seasoned that wants to get into the American Express ecosystem for the purpose of having a card that is 0% for at least 12 months. So if you're watching this video, the first thing I'd recommend you do is get your personal credit score up. Now, the great thing about American Express is you don't have to have a thick, seasoned personal credit profile. Let me show you guys some of the situations where we've been able to get our clients some approvals. I do recommend having, obviously, personal primary trade lines. It is a bonus if you're already in the American Express ecosystem, but you don't have to have a mortgage. You don't have to have any auto loans. As long as you have low utilization and you got 2 to 3, maybe, 2 to 3 plus primary trade lines reporting, and your limits are decent, I recommend 5,000 and above on each primary trade line you have. Now, the great thing about American Express, authorized user trade lines do help a little bit when it comes to the approval process. But that's pretty much all you need in order to qualify for this card. And then, moving on to step number 2, right? What are the expected credit card limits that we can see here for this card? And actually, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, right? So what are some of the expected credit limits that we can see here with the card? And in my experience, I've seen limits as low as 2K. I've seen limits as high as 50K. So their limits are very, 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 very broad. And also they do pull Experian, one hard pull for any of their products. So you can apply for one American Express today and get up to 5 credit cards, 2 non-charge cards, and 3 charge cards on an approval today, right? But on the non-charge cards, and we're talking about the Business Blue Cash like we're talking about here today, the limits can range anywhere between 2 to 50K, right? Depending on your profile, depending on your relationship, depending on the age of your business. Obviously, we always tell our clients, hey, listen, the older your business, typically the higher the approval amount can be, right? Brand new business owner, can you come in, you set up an LLC today and get approved for this card? Yes, limit might be 2 to 10K, right? Seasoned business owner, even if there is no revenue coming in, just from the age of the business, your limits can be I've seen 25K, right? Typically we're getting 20 to 25, upwards of, like I said, 50K. So I just want to cover a couple of things about the card as well while we're here. So if you go to americanexpress.com and you go to cards and then business cards, this is going to be your blue business cash card, right? So it's not hard to find. And of course, you can apply today and get a credit decision as little as 30 seconds. So they don't have a long, drawn out application process like some of these other banks. And then also, you want to check out the new card member offer. So you earn a $250 statement credit after you spend $3,000 on purchases in your first 3 months of the card membership. So what that means is if you apply today and you get approved for the card, what you want to do is start using it immediately. Get that spend up to 3,000, and then you get back a $250 statement credit. And then, of course, the biggest thing that I like to tell my clients is this is going to be your card that's going to give you 0% for 12 months. So you see a lot of guys talking about business funding, 0% credit lines or whatever. There are no such. They're not 0% credit lines or 0% high limit business cards, which we do for our clients as well. So I'm not here to tell you guys and blow smoke and mirrors and tell you, hey, you can get a 100K credit line, right? That's 0%. It's going to be a business credit card. Okay. So anyway, 0% for 12 months. And after that, as you can see on most business cards, your interest rate can be anywhere between 17.49% up to 25%. So you want to make a return on investment within those first 12 months and also make sure you pay your bill on time, right? So with this particular card, you do earn 2% cash back on purchases up to 50,000 per year, and then it's 1% cash back. So what does that mean? For every purchase that you make, you get 2% cash back. And then on 1% cash back on other purchases. And of course, cash back is earned automatically and is credited to your statement after the 50,000, right? And that's per year. Great. When it comes to American Express, I know some merchants don't take it, but for the most part in 2025, right, most of your merchants that you're going to go to are going to take an American Express card. They might charge you a little bit more, but they're going to take that card. And then let's go down to some of the rewards on this card. Outside of the cash back, you do have some travel benefits, right? So car rental loss and damage insurance. So what you want to do is anytime that you are renting a car, you want to make sure that you're using this card to book your reservation, right? So American Express won't cover it if this card isn't used when you book the reservation at Enterprise, National, Sixth, Hertz, and so on and so forth, right? Also with this card, you get Global Assist Hotline. So whenever you travel more than 100 miles from home, your Global Assist hotline is similar to the concierge services that you get on the American Express Business Platinum and regular Platinum, but you get 24-hour emergency assistance for coordination of services, including medical and legal referrals, and legal referrals, emergency cash wires, and missing luggage assistance. Card members are responsible for the loss charged by third-party service providers. Other terms and conditions apply, right? So always do your due diligence on these cards, read the terms and conditions, and make sure that you understand completely what you're getting yourself to when you get any type of personal or business credit card. And of course, as a business owner, you do get expense management tools. This is one of the reasons why we deal primarily with business owners, especially when it comes to business funding on 0% business credit cards, is because you do have access to connect your accounts to QuickBooks. You can also add employee cards, right? So to get the value out of your business card, add employee cards on the Blue Business Cash, and you can also now earn more cash back on employee purchases. It's still up to that same 50K, right? But it's also better for you to track your expenses based on how many employees you have in the business, right? You get an designated account manager. That way you can now allow trusted individuals like an assistant or a business partner to manage the expenses, and they'll have the ability to like maybe cut off some, give a certain amount to be able to spend on a certain card, or cut off if an employee gets terminated, and so on and so forth, right? So you get all of these, situations here. Year-end summary, vendor paid by bill.com, the American Express app, and then some just additional services, extended warranties, where you can shop with, outside of the original manufacturer's warranty can be extended up to one additional year. And these are things that most people don't talk about because most people aren't using them because we're using them for what? Money. But if you want to maximize every single credit card, whether it's personal or business, there's a lot of things that come with these cards that we're not taking advantage of, right? Purchase protection as well as dispute resolution. This is why I'm an advocate to tell people to use credit cards versus using a debit card, because you always want to use the bank's money versus using your money. Because guess what? If you have a situation where there is a transaction that comes off of your debit card, the banks know that it's not their money, it's your money. So they are going to kick their feet. They're going to take their time. They're going to do an investigation. Your money is still gone, meaning that let's just say somebody took, $2,000 out of your account. Majority of your banks out there are not going to replace that money immediately. What they're going to do is they're going to shut the card off. They are going to issue you a new card, and sometimes they give you a credit up to a certain amount, but they're still going to do an investigation, and those investigations can take 30 days, 180 days, 1 year for you before you get your money back, right? Versus when you use a credit card, number one, it's not coming out of your money, it's coming out of their money. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to cancel that card. They're going to issue a credit immediately. And now you're back to using that card because they are banking on you using that card so they can make money on interest. Believe it or not, I'm not calling myself a guru or nothing, but this is a little secret, which is not. Banks don't make money unless they lend, right? So that's why credit cards will never go out of style. That's why personal loans, lines of credit, etc., will never go out of style because banks make their money on charging interest. Just like on this card, because it is 0% for 12 months, right? People say, well, how is American Express making money off of this? The reason why is because they know that it's a certain ratio or a certain number of people that will default on that minimum payment, right? So if your minimum payment due today is 1% of the balance, let's say your balance is 4,000, minimum payment is $40. If you miss your payment today, then a lot of banks will now start charging you interest. So that 0% for 12 months is now going down the drain, right? How many of us may not set up our bills on auto pay and then we forget that we have a payment that's due and we pay it tomorrow, but then we're not told that now we're paying interest. And then when we get that next month statement, it's high as a kite. Now we got a large payment that we got to take care of, right? So moving on to number 3. How do you apply and get approved for this card? So what you're simply going to do is you're going to go to apply now. And then you're going to put in basic information. So you're going to put in your email address. You're going to put in your legal name of your entity or your business, right? You're going to put in the business name that you want represented on the actual card itself. And if your company has a DBA, so for example, if your business legal name is John Smith LLC, and your company DBA is John Sweets and Chocolate, right? You can put the DBA here. I personally recommend just click on company does not have a DBA. And then you want to put your business address here, zip code here, phone number here. And then your industry, right? Depending on what industry you're in, right? I know some people that are watching, they're probably in quote unquote consulting. They don't have a consulting industry type. So what you're always going to do is select other. But if you fall in these categories here, then you want to make sure you select those categories. And then years in business, they keep it real simple and basic, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 5 years. And this is from the original date of incorporation. When did you register this business in your state? So if you just did it a month ago, right, you're going to come to years in business and choose less than 1 year. Okay. Number of employees, how many employees? If it's just you can put 1. And then gross annual business revenue and then estimated monthly spend, right? So gross annual business revenue. How much money do you think your business is going to make in 2025? Okay. How much money are you making right now in your business, right? Some companies go off of projected income. Some companies go off of stated income. American Express is one of those ones I always recommend you put your stated income because guess what American Express will do? If they feel like you are lying on your application, they will hit you with the connect your bank account or they will ask for 3 to 4 months of bank statements, right? To prove that you are making that money. Now, if you're making it, put whatever you're making, right? But don't lie on the application. And then estimated monthly spend. How much do you think? Let's actually go here. Average monthly business expenses you plan to spend on the card. So if you know you're going to use this card for expenses, payroll, inventory, etc., or maybe even paid ads, which I don't recommend using this card for paid ads, then just make sure that you put in that estimated monthly spend, right? So let's say it is $25K. You want to put $25K there. Federal tax ID, which is your EIN number. What is your role in the company? Are you the general manager, the owner, partner, president? Put whatever your title is. And then also now you want to put in your personal information, the name you want on the card. And then where do you want this card to be sent to, right? So my home address is the same as my business address, which is fine. You can use your home address as a business address, even if it is an apartment. Preferably if you have a virtual office or a physical brick and mortar, use that location, but you can use your home address. And then you would just make sure that that information is filled out. Social security number is required. Obviously, all these cards are personal guarantees. And then your birthday, personal annual income, non-taxable income. Now, I see a lot of people tell people online for American Express, hey man, put that you make $300,000 a year, man, you'll get approved. No, you won't, right? If you don't make 300K a year, please do not put 300,000 a year. Put what you make, because what American Express will do, they will tell you, hey, listen, send us your personal pay stubs that show and reflect that you make this amount of money, or send us your 1 year personal tax returns that show us that you make $300,000 a year, right? And the good thing about it is, if you're already in their ecosystem, there is an option signing in into one of your other credit cards and updating your profile information to reflect your assets and your income. I always recommend you do that if you're going to apply for this card, right? So tell us where to send your bill. If you want your bill to come to the house, select house. If you wanted to go to your business, select business. And that's literally all you have to do. And here are the terms and conditions: 0% for 12 months. And then you submit application and you simply wait. But before I show you guys that, I do want to let you know that if you've already had a variation or this similar card in the past and you're applying for another one, you will not be granted the 0% for 12 months. They will let you get approved for the card and it won't have an annual fee, right? But it tells you right here, you may not be eligible to receive the welcome offer, intro APR offer, and intro plan fees offer if you have had this card or previous versions of this card. You may also not be eligible to receive a welcome offer, intro offer, or the othering, such as your history with the card, balance transfers. Basically, if you screw American Express, they don't want to really give you any more cards, right? So if you had American Express in the past and you did them dirty, it's no point applying for this card, okay? So once you click apply, what happens is they will simply give you an instant approval. They will let you know that you may have to connect your bank account, or they're going to wait and tell you that you are denied. Now, if you follow the rules correctly, if your utilization is down, American Express is not inquiry sensitive. I'll tell you guys that. I've done plenty of applications. You can put it right through, no matter if you got 20 inquiries on your Experian. As long as your utilization is down and you don't have any negatives, so no bankruptcies, no derogatories. Like, never apply for a credit card when you know you have any baddies on your credit report, okay? So with that being said, now that you know exactly how to apply for the American Express business card, do me a favor, inside of the comments right below, let me know your approval amounts, and also let me know what other videos that you would like to see me post, especially on here on American Express, because I'm going to do videos on all these different credit cards, whether I have them or not, based on my experience being in the lending industry, being in the personal finance industry. And also, if you guys can do me a favor, it's 2025. If you can do me a favor, subscribe to the channel so that way you guys can get updates on any future cards that I'm going to do videos on. So that being said, talk soon. Peace.